Hey guys, it's Aaron the Ho from mobilereviews8.ca, and today we're going to review the Element Ronin G10 titanium case by, well, Element. This is a very fancy case. This is a premium case because, well, it comes with this fancy leather wallet thing, but also because it costs $300. Now, this premium iPhone accessory feels and looks well built and offers okay access to your iPhone. If you enjoy nice things built with fancy materials, Element's higher priced iPhone accessories are gonna blow you away. However, with all that being said, it does make your iPhone feel a little heavier. It's not officially drop rated, and for me personally, there are a couple of minor handling issues that I usually would overlook, but given that this is a $300 case, I'm not. Now, based on my time with Ronin G10 titanium, I've given it a score of 4 A's out of 5. It's not a bad case. Now, I haven't really reviewed anything that comes close to the cost of this case, but if you're looking for similar products that are fancier in nature, check out the Armond case as well as the Draco. Both of those are aluminum bumpers. I've got a Pegacasa Maestro that is also quite fancy, and we have definitely reviewed other Element cases, including the Ion, which is, I'm a big fan of the Ion. Links are in the I or in the description section below.
Real usage, real reviews. mobilereviews8.ca.
At mobilereviews8.ca, we go out of our way to base our reviews on actual usage. So when there's a fancy case, well, what do you do with a fancy case? You try to use the fancy case. And with the Titanium First Edition, we had such an awful time trying to install and use the case. The too long didn't watch version of that video is that, well, the power button doesn't work on it and it's a $300 case. Those things just don't make any sense in my head. Element did see that video. They sent us an updated Titanium. We got to say that the installation and the buttons generally work way better than the first edition, but still, this is a $300 brick now. I did drop my iPhone in this case though, so do stay tuned. In terms of design, the Ronin does add a bit of bulk to your iPhone. The case is wider at the top and bottom, which helps with the grip, but the entire case does feel a little heavier because, well, there's, metal and leather, and it just definitely feels heavier than cases like the Ion. Installation on the case, though easier the second time around, still requires screws and multiple parts. I will note that without the iPhone, the actual case by itself does look a little cheap because things just kind of flail. For this Ronin, the top and bottom brackets are made from titanium. Because of that finish, it will show wear and tear a little quicker than other cases, but for some, that slow wear and tear will add a bit of character to your iPhone. The back panel for my Ronin is made from genuine leather and surprisingly has enough friction to keep your iPhone from sliding off a flat surface. The edges of the case are grippy enough that, again, makes the iPhone 6 quite easy to hold onto. Every piece of this case feels well built and it's very fancy. And if you're looking for even fancier cases, check out their Ultralux cases, which involve materials like gold and wood. Now, my biggest hassle with the first edition titanium case that I received revolved around the buttons. My power button didn't work at all, which is stupid. The mute switch was a little weak and the volume buttons kept falling out of that side of the case. Looking closely at the newer titanium, the mute switch is slightly improved. I can see that they've updated that part of the case, making it easier for me to wrap the bumper around the iPhone without having stuff come out of it. The power button also works, which is kind of nice. These minor changes do make a big difference between the older version and this newer version. Now, in terms of protection, the case isn't drop rated, though it's made out of metal and whatnot. And it doesn't come with a screen protector. For $300, you'd think there would be some sort of screen protector, but they didn't include one. Generally, I do think if you were to drop this case accidentally on concrete, your iPhone's going to survive. And generally, I say that because we did it with this first edition. And what I was most interested about with this was to see if these side bracket things would actually hold up to a drop. I dropped it twice. The iPhone, the top and bottom brackets did come apart slightly. It didn't come flying off. The iPhone is fine. The bottom of the metal pieces are a little scuffed up, but again, it's not that noticeable. So generally, I think this case is okay. Unless you're very clumsy, then I'd stay away from it. But it's $300, so maybe you've spent so much money that you're not as clumsy with it, huh? Now, getting to your iPhone generally works. The cutouts on the case are large enough to use third-party cables, even the monstrous Amazon Basic cables. The buttons do work, though are a little lacking in my opinion, which is annoying because of the cost of the case. If you look at the case head on the top, volume button is almost hidden, and it almost feels like the shape of the button should have followed the curve of the case. It doesn't. Visually, I think this would make it look a little better, but that's just my opinion, and definitely would make it easier to find. For me, my fingers personally tended to get lost, but that's really just me being very, very picky. My wife, on the other hand, had no problems with that portion of the case. Again, this is a decent case. I gave it a score of 4 A's out of 5, though it is $300, and for $300, I would be expecting a little bit more. It's these minor issues with the buttons, with the first version and this other version, like they do work, but they don't make my iPhone feel $300 more expensive. The materials are nice, but you kind of forget about that over time. It's really just the buttons that you keep touching on the case, and, well, That one's kind of loose, and like it's $300. But if you're like my sister, who's an architect, who likes, you know, these different types of materials, a case like that will be very appealing. It's to blend this plastic, the leather, the metal, wrapping your entire iPhone it's a very unique feeling, very unique looking case. It's fancy. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section below. I do encourage you to go watch the really frustrating video. I know people get really annoyed when I kind of rag on cases that they really do love, but I go through this entire process of filming an install and I'm cursing my head off, and you know, I've formed my opinion about it because, well, buttons are falling out and it's $300. But go check that video out. If you have any questions, I'll leave them in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm Aaron the Ho. This is my channel. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.